I want to talk about the Mikey Madison, Pamela Anderson actors on actors for a second. I am in agreement with the general discourse around the intimacy coordinator conversation that it is insensitive to Pamela Anderson, her career, her personal experience, and her legacy for anyone not to have an intimacy coordinator on set. That being said, there's a couple of things I feel that are like getting lost in translation or haven't been brought up, at least not that I have seen, which is that Mikey Madison is 25 years old. And this is not an attempt for me to infantilize her because she is an adult. But I watch people get on this app year after year and complain about how little Gen Z knows about history, how Gen Z is hyper woke, but they actually don't know anything that contextualizes why or what they're woke about. And to me, this is case in point. Mikey Madison was born in 99. Baywatch ran from like 89 to 2001. And Pamela Anderson wasn't even on it for the entirety. So to expect somebody that's 25 years old to know all of what Pamela Anderson went through with her career, with Tommy Lee, with the sex tape, with Baywatch, with Barbed Wire, with not being taken seriously. What I'm suggesting is that you cannot expect somebody who is 25 years old to understand the machinations of like what blonde bombshells and highly sexualized actresses like Pamela Anderson went through during the 90s and early 2000s. This is going to harken to a larger conversation I want to have in another video, which is that the reason why Gen Z is like this is actually the fault of millennials and Gen X parents, because there is a failure to educate Gen Z on what came before them. That being said, it's also not Mikey Madison's responsibility that there wasn't an intimacy coordinator on set. In the interview, she says that she made the decision with her acting partner who played Ivan not to have one, and for it just to be the two of them and the director and the director's wife slash producer. The director, whom I love, and his wife slash producer should have said, "We respect that you don't feel like you need one. Bitch, you need one. You're gonna get one." That responsibility falls to the adults in the fucking room. That doesn't strip Mikey Madison of agency. It in fact protects her agency. So I'm a little bit uncomfortable with like the vitriol that's being placed solely on Mikey Madison for simply voicing her decision and her experience versus redirecting that vitriol towards the people in power. And tangentially, my capstone course for my PhD program in mythological studies was a course titled Memoir: the Mythology of the Self, where we looked at memoir and oral history through the lens of personal mythology. For that course, we had to pick a memoir to read, and I chose to read Love, Pamela by Pamela Anderson. And it's not because I don't love and respect Pamela Anderson, it's just not something I would normally go out of my way to reach for. But I implore you, if you are interested in Pamela Anderson's history, if you are interested in the history of what it was like to be a woman in her circumstances during the 90s and 2000s, etc., and I would encourage you to listen to the audiobook because Pamela narrates it herself. It subverted kind of every expectation of whatever expectations I had of that to be. And this renaissance that's happening with Pamela Anderson and even Demi Moore with The Substance, I don't think a lot of Gen Z knows what and who these women were to pop culture in their heyday, and more specifically what it was like to see them recede from Hollywood because they no longer were taken seriously for absolutely no credible reasons whatsoever.